The shields of the soldiers are red, the warriors are clad in scarlet, the metal on the chariots flashes on the day they are made ready. The spears of juniper are brandished, the chariots storm through the streets, rushing back and forth through the squares. They look like flaming torches. They dart all about like lightning. Nahum 2, 3, and 4. These verses are both a description of what an invader would look like when they showed up to overthrow Assyria, and an opportunity to contrast what God's warriors, the angel armies, will look like when they show up for the last battle. The verse is designed to, at a minimum, impress people who are reading, who are listening. Now, red is a power color. It's obviously the color of blood. It's the color of political factions, royal families, and carpets for dignitaries. On movies and TV, Roman legionnaires are pictured wearing uniforms of metal plates and red cloth. In Nahum's time, the armies who would soon arrive in Nineveh would be wearing uniforms something like that. They would be comprised of trained soldiers whose business was battle and whose order would be no quarter, spilling red blood. Thus, the verses talk about the brutality of ancient battle, sharp swords and spears, horse-drawn chariots racing through town, with soldiers running down people or hacking them to death. Fire, destruction, wholesale killing, weapons and shining in the light as they are drenched in Assyrian blood. That sword by which Nineveh lived for so long would be sprung upon it to exercise God's judgment against a people who had rejected him also for so long. Yet Revelation 19 talks about heaven's armies riding behind Jesus on white horses and dressed in white linen. When they come, and they will be coming to support him in a battle that has already been won. They'll appear here as they do in eternity, in those power color white clothes. The sword that will win the battle against evil will be the commands from Jesus' mouth for evil to surrender and submit to his inevitable justice. Those snow-white dressed angels will arrive to seize the devil and his prophets and to send them to their eternal punishment. They'll separate the people based on who they chose in this life, God or anything else, and they will enforce the will of he who commands them. They're blood-red, snow-white, sobering words for us, especially at a time when many still make war here, and war always descends to its most primitive form. It always all comes down to compelling your enemy to submit to your will. And even with modern superweapons, we're really little different from the Babylonians in scarlet who would overthrow evil Nineveh, before being overthrown themselves several decades later. Maybe instead of focusing on the scarlet red, we'd do better to model ourselves after the armies who will follow Jesus, and simply live our lives to do his will as those angels do.